Disney is poised to dominate the box office in 2019. And oh my gosh, yes. And I got to say, I'm actually kind of interested to see where they end the Star Wars saga. Given the performance of Infinity Wars, it's a safe bet that its sequel, the Untitled Avengers 4, well, now we know it's Endgame, will come close to hitting the 2 billion mark as well. I don't know. It's a sequel. Do you think it'll hit the 2 billion?
Yeah, because people are going to want to see how it ends.
That sarcasm hurts my brain, Egwitine.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. Revenge of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi did not do as well as Empire Strikes Back. And Empire Strikes Back ended with Han Solo and Carbonite and them saying, we're going to rescue him. So
I'm thinking it's going to do a little better even. It wouldn't surprise me if it ended up somewhere in the vicinity of like Avatar. Because as great as Infinity War is, and it is, it really was very much a part one of a two-part story, and this is the 10-year culmination thing, and also everyone who gasped and went awe when the snapping happened.
The snapping.
Well, it is. When that happened, are going to be like, how are they going to get out of this? I need to see how they get out of this. So my thinking is it'll probably end up doing a little better, actually, all things considered.
Oh, a little. You're guessing a little better, and Feisty is saying it'll be around the same. Okay, you know what? I can see your point. Let's see. Of course, while that comes out in May, Captain Marvel will be hitting screens in March. It's Marvel Studios' first female-led movie. There's a lot of anticipation. No, there's not because of that, and there's not really any. I haven't heard a lot of people say it's not a lot of anticipation headed towards Carol Danvers.
Yeah,
Feisty, you work at a comic shop. Are you hearing people excited for Captain Marvel?
A lot of the reactions, what was it? Wednesday, everyone's like, oh, did you see the Captain Marvel trailer? What'd you think? I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of bored. It was kind of like, meh. But she seemed like One Punch, like they made her out to be like super, super power. Like, I'm like, it's, I'm like, great. She's all powerful. She's cosmic. But a lot of people were like, yeah, I don't feel the hype anymore. It's like, well, yeah, I don't know if it has nothing to do with her being a woman. It's just the trailer was just like, meh.
Yeah, I think honestly they are being deliberately ignorant of the actual zeitgeist, which is and I've said it before and I will say it again. I think that Captain Marvel is going to perform somewhere between the first and second Ant-Man movie and the first Thor. That's where I imagine that she will land. And my thinking is that she will be the next generation Thor, by which I mean it'll take them 2 movies to actually make something that appeals to the mass audience.
Well,
cosmic, but bland.
Yeah, and I mean, coming from a standpoint as a comic book fan too, like Civil War II ruined like any interest or anything that I had for Captain Marvel. And as far as like sales of her book is gone, yeah, we sell like maybe 7 copies of Life of Captain Marvel. So even we have like 200 and something subscribers to the store. It's a smaller store, but yeah, like 7 people out of 200. And then people that walk in randomly that like, I had a dad walk in and ask for something Captain Marvel. We had like 2 trades. I gave, I pulled the one of the better stories. And, but yeah, it's like, I don't think too many broad yeah, it's a Marvel movie, great. I know a lot of people will see it just because it is a Marvel movie, myself included, but I don't think people know enough about her or care enough to see the movie.
And I just want to stress this because Marvel has proven that they can make characters that should be on the B or C list by all rights work, or have been in the B or C list in the past work, because the quality of the movie was good enough and they made the character dynamic enough that people could see why they deserved a movie.
I'm an X-Men fan, and one of the way I was introduced to Carol Danvers was through the Brood saga.
Yeah.
And I loved that. And I saw her as Binary. I knew her as Binary really before I knew her as Ms. Marvel. So when I saw her all binaried out, that got me excited. So I was very happy to see that part. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, all right. And
yeah, I like that she had her helmet on too. I was like, are they going to do the helmet? They should do the, and then they did the helmet. I was like, okay, cool. This is, yeah. So
and then of course they flashed to Iron Man flying up through the Chitauri falling, and I was like, wait a second, seen this. Moving on to the next, they have the classics that are coming out, Disney. Let's see, they've got Toy Story 4, which will be out in June. Let's see, the third one they say crossed the $1 billion. Like I'm surprised. Now I kind of thought that Toy Story 3 wrapped everything up. You know, I don't personally need a Toy Story 4.
My thinking is they're gonna try to use Toy Story 4 to kind of start a new trilogy with the girl that Andy gave his toys away to.
I'll be in line. I mean, I'm still on Pixar's side. They've burned with the sequels, but I'm still on their side. They still have more good than bad in their little filmography. Then there's the live action remake of Aladdin that's going to be out in May. Those ones you might not expect to hit $1 billion. Of the Renaissance, my favorite. Well, no, Beast would have been my favorite, and then Aladdin right after it. Of the cartoon versions, anyway.
My only worry with Aladdin is Will Smith instead of Robin Williams.
Well, if they got Robin Williams now, it'd just be gross.
Well, yeah, but my casting for the genie post Robin Williams, may he rest in peace, would have been The Rock, because The Rock has that kind of personality, and all you really need to do is CGI The Rock blue and have him do his usual charminger than gold stick, and it would have at least made an attempt at
Mark C, by the way, Story 3 was a Jewish Holocaust complete with ovens. Have you guys heard this theory before?
Yeah, that they were parodying or homaging the Holocaust. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, that is bizarre. I never heard this one before. Mata Nui, we're talking about why Disney is going to rule the world in 2019. That's the first story here we're talking about tonight. I'm more of a Will Smith than Rock as far as the genie is concerned. He can sing. He's got a very quick wit that we saw on Fresh Prince. He can do comedy and the dramatic scene. So yeah, I'm on his side a bit better. But of the live action, what were you gonna say, Feisty?
Oh, well, Unranked Chevron said Detective Pikachu will rule 2019. Gonna have to agree with Unranked Chevron, because that appeals to anybody that, like myself, that grew up with Pokemon. The nostalgia factor, seeing a live action Pokemon movie, and kids, and Ryan Reynolds. So
I definitely think it will hit $1 billion, is my thinking.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it'll be bigger than Endgame by any.
Especially World Pikachu's gonna hit $1 billion for sure. My daughter, you guys heard, my daughter is the biggest Pokemon fan I know. It's just she's gaga for this stuff. So I'll be seeing that movie more than once.
Yeah.
Now, of the Disney live remakes, the one that I think looks good is Tim Burton's Dumbo. I like that one better. That's coming out in March.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm kind of tired of Tim Burton, and it's just
it's really sad because he used to be
he's become a trope of his own, but
he used to be one of my favorite directors, like on the level that I enjoy Guillermo del Toro today.
The preview looks great, and it looks different enough for me to want to check it out. Obviously, they didn't want to do Timothy the Mouse, so they've got a couple of kids standing in for him. And yeah, it looks different enough, but still following the same story. Yeah, I'm jazzed for that one. What did you think of the Lion King trailer? Did you see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically almost frame for frame The Lion King. I'm like, and it's not like oh my gosh. Okay, so
I know, right?
did a meme that said the live action Lion King is still animated. Changed my mind. That has gotten over 500 likes and I think 300 retweets.
Because it's animated. You're right.
It's not live action. It's
updated animation. It looks great. It really does look good, but it's animated.
Well, what I call it is the live action by proxy Lion King, because it is done with computer generation, but it's done to the standards of a live action movie. So I call it live action by proxy.
Here's something. I don't know. Oh, go on ahead, Feisty.
Okay. Beauty and the Beast was great because of nostalgia reasons, and Cinderella made me bawl like a little bitch because I went through a childhood thing where, like, for Halloween 3 years in a row, I dressed as Cinderella. But my last straw was not putting trust in me in Jungle Book. I'm like, nope. Okay.
Oh yeah, they didn't give Kaw's song, and that,
nope.
Yeah, that did annoy me.
I'm like, okay, nope. Done.
I got to admit, I did, especially considering they had some of the other songs. I did mistrust in me. As far as the Lion King is concerned, I would be impressed if they do it like Peter Rabbit. Did y'all see Peter Rabbit this year?
Yeah,
no.
It's on Netflix right now. But what they did was they had CGI animals running through real backgrounds. So if they do it like that, okay. I like that. I like the way they blend the CGI and the real backgrounds, the real grass, the real trees, and so forth. That would be good. But if it's just all animated, why call it live action? Why even pretend to call it live action?
I think they're gonna do what they did with Jungle Book and have it be in a quote unquote real setting in the background. So, or when they're able to. Like, I think Pride Rock is gonna be CG because they have to.
Then it comes down to their not classic, but regular Disney movies that are coming out. Nothing here makes me excited here. They're just bringing up something called Artemis Fowl. I don't know. What is this? Do you guys know what Artemis Fowl is?
It's a book adaptation. It was a YA book that sort of came around the same time as Harry Potter. It's basically...
It's one of those?
It's darker, though.
It's basically Harry Potter, but for like older teenagers as opposed to younger kids and teens.
Aren't we done with the trying to make YA universes after Divergent and Maze Runner and Hunger Games, Harry Potter, Beautiful Creatures?
You shut up about Harry Potter.
Yeah, well, that was the good one. That was the successful one. All the others, they seem to be, degrees less than Harry Potter. I like the Harry Potter series, both book and movie, but the other ones, it's just getting worse and worse. Wasn't there something called like Darkest Minds this year? Something like that came out. It's just now they're going to try Artemis Fowl. It just seems ditch effort.
Artemis Fowl is almost as big as Harry Potter, so I can understand why they're doing it, because I think actually Artemis Fowl might have come just before Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And also it's Kenneth Branagh doing it, and if he goes the whole hog and they actually do some of the more darker, zanier things that happen in Artemis Fowl, and they make Artemis Fowl the kind of asshole that he was in the book, because Artemis Fowl's kind of an asshole, and I kind of like him for it.
I same here.
So if they do that, I could totally get behind this.
This brings me to the final way, and I know I'm going to get a big boo from everybody. The final way that Disney is going to rule the world, 19 Star Wars Episode 9. And I'm looking forward to it.
Commence the void.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've said this before. one thing they did by fucking Last Jedi up so very much is they have finally made a movie where we have little to no idea where they're going to go with it.
Yep.
And for that reason alone, I am excited to see episode 9. I want to see where they're going to take this. And I'm wondering this also. Do you think with a really good trailer, they could get a lot of people back?
No.
No.
What do you think there, Feisty? No? You think what's done is done and the damage is done? Okay.
I actually think that the long release time in between is actually going to end up hurting them, because yes, they could go the, well, we'll be a little bit more sympathetic to it route, or it could just make it fester, and the longer they go, the more people are going to hate on Last Jedi.
December 20th, 2019 is when it's slated for.
So it's going to be a year and a half after Solo. Now, I would not have minded seeing a Splinter of the Mind's Eye movie, even if it's animated.
Yep.
And actually, that might be a way to go. Bring in the EU, just make animated movies based on it.
What you could do, and I hope on some level they do this, because they introduced in Rebels that there's a like temporal nexus that allows you to use time travel. What if they have Snoke revive himself by some kind of Sith time manipulation magic, and then use that as an excuse to retcon things and bring in the EU? That would be smart and would get pretty much everyone that you piss off back on board.
Now, if I were in charge, the way that I know the fans love the EU stuff, we got the streaming, we got the Disney streaming. Why don't you just start doing animated films from the EU on the Disney streaming?
And
it doesn't have to be canon, but it would definitely be fan service. And I think
you could even
that would
call
go
it
well.
Star Wars Legends, the series, or something like.
Yeah, something along those lines. That would be kind of awesome.
Like, I am really glad that they kept Thrawn in canon, because he is also a badass.
So there you go, kids. That's a discussion on how we think that Disney's going to rule the world next year. Well, at least the box office. Come on. I mean, not the world, maybe. Maybe. I mean, I'd be taken first. I'm right here in Orlando. But, yeah. Anyway, what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, click like, share, of course, get word out about the channel. And if you haven't done it already, hit subscription and that notification bell. Cool things happen, and I'd hate for you to miss any of it. Also, this is the way I'm trying to make a living. If you don't mind helping out the channel, please go on over to Patreon. Drop $1 in the till. Helps keep making videos for you. Like, thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.